Hello my cherubs, welcome back to my channel. So it's been about 4 weeks since I made my first video, and I really don't want to wait this long before I posted another. However, I posted my first video on my birthday, that's the 6th of February, and 3 days later, unfortunately, my dad had a massive heart attack. So the past 4 weeks I've had other things going on my mind, and other things to deal with. So making my videos wasn't at the kind of forefront of what I was doing. But thankfully he's recovered really well. He's doing great. We're back home, trying to get back to normal. So I was like, right, time to get the next video up. So one of the things that I said that I was starting this YouTube channel for was to talk about disability and raise awareness. And because when I was growing up, I didn't have anyone like me to look up to, and I want to be that person, hopefully, for other people, but specifically young people, because that's when I was first diagnosed with some of my health conditions. So I thought I would do a quick video and explain the health conditions and disabilities that I have, and then in other videos I'll go into more detail about them. So I normally take a head, shoulders, knees and toes approach to telling people what my health conditions are. So if we start in the head, I have epilepsy, which was diagnosed the day before my 16th birthday. And I went through quite a lot of testing for that, because my seizures don't present like a normal epileptic seizure or a usual one. So it took a really long time. It took about a year to diagnose the first time, and then I moved to adult services from children's services, and that took some time to really figure out what was going on. But thankfully we managed to do that. So I have generalised seizures, and they present as complex partial. So I'm conscious but unable to move or respond. For someone looking at my kind of seizure, it would look as if I've slumped over, like maybe I was falling asleep. My breathing can be quite raspy and heavy. I don't need to go to hospital, I don't need to call an ambulance, because my brain isn't being deprived of oxygen, because I'm not losing any consciousness. Thankfully, I'm on medication for my epilepsy, and it is controlled really well. It's something I'm very passionate about, so I will talk about it more in depth in a separate video. Also in the head, I have a condition called non-epileptic attack disorder. So I don't really like the name of it, because it tells you what it isn't, not what it is. But effectively, I have what are called dissociative seizures. And really, that's my brain's way of dealing with stress, anxiety, feelings of being overwhelmed. And basically, my brain just kind of shuts down for 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. So it looks like they actually present very similar to my epileptic seizures, but there's a different cause. If you heard a little noise, that's my little dog Fergus, who's wanting to join in. So yes, and unfortunately those also took a bit of time to diagnose, but we know about them now. Those aren't under control, unfortunately. I think that a lot of the cause of them is anxiety, and I have a lot of anxiety. So that's the next thing in the head. I have depression and anxiety. I was first diagnosed with reactive depression after my first diagnosis of epilepsy. So that was pretty understandable, that a traumatic thing had happened. It was a big change. I was young. There was a lot to deal with. And I went into depression. And unfortunately, that's not really lifted or ended. And as I've acquired more health conditions, it's progressed effectively. I'm not ashamed to talk about my mental health. I think it's really important. I do try and educate people on it. Again, something I'm very passionate about. I take medication. I take an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication. And I try and talk to my support network, so my family and my friends, when I feel like I'm struggling. So yes, my medication helps keep me on an even keel. Doesn't solve everything, doesn't make me super duper happy, but it keeps things level. And I try and do what I can to manage the low parts of my mental health. But please, talk to somebody if you are feeling depressed or if you're having any kind of suicidal thoughts. Please reach out. Please speak to somebody. There's so many helplines and charities, but even just start with a friend or family member if you can. It's so important, and you don't need to go through any kind of mental health issue or crisis alone. So please reach out. So that's the head sorted. So we've got a few things going on out there. The next thing is here I have an underactive thyroid disease. I don't know too much about it. This is quite a recent diagnosis, but I am taking medication for it, which does seem to be helping some of the symptoms that I was experiencing. So again, I'm going to do some more research on it and hopefully do a video specifically on that for you guys as well. So what's next? So moving down the body, I am hypoglycemic, which means I have low blood sugar. Some people refer to this as pre-diabetes. I don't understand why. As a very overweight person, I am regularly tested for diabetes. I do not have diabetes. Hypoglycemia is specifically low blood sugar. So yeah, it is what it says in the tin. I can experience hypos, so that's when my blood sugar gets really low. I start to feel sick, I start to feel shaky, I start sweating, so that's the kind of indication that I need to get some sugar in me ASAP. And I think a lot of people would assume that I would have high blood sugar, being obese and being so overweight, but no, it's low blood sugar. So that's something I just have to manage with diet and lifestyle. The next thing is I have IBS, which is also known as irritable bowel syndrome. Not the most glamorous thing to talk about, but it's very common. A lot of people have it. And it just means that there's certain foods that disagree with me. And again, that's just kind of trial and error, learning what you can and can't eat and just trying to be sensible about things. Again, I have medication to manage that, and it works quite well. So it is what it is. Moving down, further down, probably one of my main conditions at the moment that's causing a lot of problems is that I have degenerative disease in my lower 3 vertebrae in my spine. What that means is the vertebrae are wearing away much quicker than they should. So those 3 vertebrae at the bottom are similar to somebody that was maybe in their 60s or 70s. So they're wearing away a lot quicker. And what happens then is they start shrinking and they push on the discs in between your vertebrae, and those discs push on nerves. A lot of people say a slipped disc. It's not slipped, it's bulging because it's being pressed down. So that then pushes on my nerves like a sciatic nerve. So I have sciatic pain, which goes from my back, down your bum, down your leg. So because of that, I suffer from chronic pain. I'm in pain all day, every day. I take quite a few strong painkillers to help manage that. I have some nerve damage in my left leg, and that pain then also causes me to walk different, to maybe have a slightly different gait. So I have pain in my hips, I have pain in my knees, I have pain in my feet, and I have pain in my back. The actual bones are painful, not just the pressing on the nerves. So that's pretty serious. That's one of the things that causes me to struggle most day to day. And it's a bit of a continuous battle at the moment to manage it. It's very hard to secure painkillers that will manage the pain, considering how young I am. There's lots of worry about addiction and things like that, because a lot of these kind of heavy duty drugs can be highly addictive. There's no two ways about it. So I understand that my healthcare professionals are trying to help me the best they can. One of the things that people will probably comment on and pick up on is obviously my weight as well. And I suppose some people will be surprised or thankful to know that I am trying or starting on a journey of trying to lose some weight. Not that I'm not happy with my body or myself, but I do realise that it has now come to a point where it's affecting how I manage my other health conditions. And losing weight will alleviate some of the stress and the symptoms of especially my pain. So yes, it's going to be difficult, I'm not going to lie, but I'm pretty determined that I'm going to do something about it. And I've got great support from my family and I'm sure my friends as well. So yeah, that's about it for health conditions, which is quite a bit, but it's all right. And because of all the things that I have wrong, I can end up with just random symptoms sometimes. So I also suffer from extreme fatigue, issues sleeping. I suffer from random bouts of nausea, insomnia. I also have a skin condition. I also have mild kind of skin allergy, so I have to take an allergy medication as well. Just loads of random different things. So that's one of the kind of things that sucks about having chronic health conditions, is these random things can just appear. And as well, taking so much medication, there's side effects. There's side effects of medication. There's side effects of having the conditions. So yeah, it is an extremely tiring thing to manage multiple health conditions and chronic pain. Chronic pain is extremely tiring. The fatigue is unreal. So because of that, I unfortunately don't work. I went to university and I have 2 degrees. I have an undergraduate and a master's degree. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to start working because of the raft of my health conditions. I was having really frequent seizures when I was finishing my master's degree. And like I said, those non-epileptic seizures aren't under control at the moment, and neither is the pain. But I try to be positive about life, and this is one of the things that I'm hoping will give me some focus and some joy, is educating people and vlogging and sharing my experiences with you guys. So yeah, that's where I come from. I try and stay as positive as possible, and I try and do as much as I can with my life. I try and help out in my community as much as possible. I go to church. I have an amazing best friend. I love my family. I spend a lot of time with them. I have my wee dog. So yeah, it's about finding that joy and finding, what gives me purpose in life, and just remembering that I am on my own journey, as we all are, and my life doesn't look the same as other people. And sometimes I struggle with that. A lot of the time I do. I had planned that my life would take a different path, and unfortunately it wasn't to be. So this is the hand I've been dealt, and I'm just trying to kind of roll with it and just accept it and get on with things. So yeah. So thank you for listening today. It was longer than I wanted it to be, but that's me. I talk so much. Could talk for Scotland. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you found it informative. And like I said, I will go into each of my health conditions individually and give some more information about them, and hopefully help people understand. Also, if anybody needs any help or support or advice, please reach out. That's what I want to be here for, if people need someone to talk to. So absolutely, please do contact me if you need to. And I will see you all in the next video, and don't forget to love yourselves. Bye guys.